Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, February 14th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the Super Bowl, all things Super Bowl, the game, the awards, the halftime show, some of the commercials, full Super Bowl recap. Then college basketball, NBA, NHL, recap everything from the weekend, look ahead to everything tonight. We'll go over the Olympic results from the weekend. Golf as well, news and notes, and my best bet of the day. Alrighty, we're going to start with the Super Bowl, of course, and it was a great game as the Rams came out on top, 23-20, to win their first Super Bowl, I believe, since I want to say 2000 or 2001. I think it was the 2000 season, back when they were the St. Louis Rams. As Matthew Stafford, 26 of 40, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. And Joe Burrow, 23 of 33, 263 yards, and a touchdown. This game was very back and forth. First quarter, 7-0 Rams on a touchdown, 17 yards from Matthew Stafford to Odell Beckham Jr., who got hurt in the game. Looked like he had a knee injury, which was unfortunate. With 28 seconds left of the first quarter, Evan McPherson, 29-yard field goal. Second quarter, you got Matthew Stafford, touchdown pass to Cooper Kupp for 11 yards. 2-point pass conversion failed, so they tried to go for 2. And in 5:47 left of the second quarter, Joe Mixon threw a touchdown pass to T. Higgins for 6 yards to make it 13-10. Third quarter, T. Higgins from Joe Burrow, 75 yards on the first play of the third quarter. That got that place rocking, and that made it 17-13 Cincinnati. Then Matthew Stafford throws a pick. Bengals drive again, but only get 3 out of it to make it 20-13. And then the Rams drive down. Matt Gay, 41 yards, 20-16. And in the fourth quarter, with a minute 25 to go, Matthew Stafford to Cooper Kupp, 1 yard. Matt Gay, extra point, 23-20 Rams. And the Bengals try to drive down the field for the tie. Joe Burrow makes a couple passes. And then Burrow is ultimately sacked on 4th and 1. And the Rams come away victorious. Super Bowl MVP went to Cooper Kupp with the 2 touchdowns. Of course, he deserved that. 8 for 92 with 2 touchdowns. He's just money. He's been money all season. I'm happy he won the Super Bowl MVP because that was my pick to win that. So, that's really awesome for him. And then Matthew Stafford, emotional moment for him after the game as he embraced with his wife, Kelly, as they've gone through a lot together as a couple, and now they have something to cheer about with a Super Bowl ring in Los Angeles. Taylor Rapp proposed to his girlfriend after the game, so that was pretty neat to see. Van Jefferson's wife gave birth after the game, as Jefferson's wife went into labor during the game, and then Jefferson was there for a little bit of the celebration, and then he was escorted away, obviously, so he could be there for the birth of his kid. So yeah, a lot of awesome storylines there, and then unfortunately, for Odell, and unfortunate for Eric Weddle, who got injured during the game and is retiring as he tore his pec in the Super Bowl. So he's retiring after coming out of retirement to play with the Rams for a ring, and then he got his ring and he gets hurt, now he's retiring. And then retirement rumors are going around for 2 important members of the Los Angeles Rams, Aaron Donald, who is their overall best player, and Andrew Whitworth. If those two guys retire, the Rams are in trouble long term. I know they won. They just won. And those two players are probably going to be embracing themselves for a little bit and then deciding on their futures. But good on the Rams for going all in and it working. The all in and big name, flashy players doesn't always work, but it worked for the Rams. They just had the right mix of guys. Even some guys with strong personalities like Odell and Von Miller. And Odell from a standpoint of drama. And if Von Miller's been to a Super Bowl before and then gets another ring with another team. So to think about that, the rock stars came through, and it was awesome to see. They go out and acquire Matt Stafford. They already have some rock stars in place in Donald and Cup. And they did this without Robert Woods, if you think about it, because he tore his ACL. And good on the Rams for overcoming that loss and picking up Odell. And they picked up Odell even before Woods got hurt, and then Odell became important for them after Woods got hurt. And then Odell being hurt in the Super Bowl almost cost them the game. Now looking back, but then Cup came through, Jefferson came through, and Bryson Hopkins came through, the backup tight end, had a nice game. And so it was really fun to see. Meanwhile, the Bengals, phenomenal season. You couldn't have asked for a better season for the Bengals, in my opinion. Almost winning the Super Bowl. Coming so close. They weren't favored. But you got to give them credit for being in that game. Joe Burrow is going to be around for a long time. Jamar Chase is going to be around for a long time. T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. That's going to be a contender in the AFC with Buffalo and Kansas City going forward. And they're going to be perceived as the third team. But guess what? They're right there with those teams. They're the ones that were in the Super Bowl this year, not those teams. They were sick and tired of the Bills-Chiefs was the real AFC championship crap. If they got blown out today, you would have heard, oh, the Bills or the Chiefs should have been here. You would have heard a lot of that from Bills and Chiefs fans. So, good on Cincinnati for making this a game. I think they belong in that group with the Bills and the Chiefs going forward long term with their quarterbacks, those three teams. And then there's a lot of free agents on each side. You have Odell and Miller for the Rams. And then on the Bengals side, you have a couple role players like B.J. Hill and such. So, Adam Schefter made a list of the free agents. I'm going to pull it up. So, Bengals free agents: Riley Reif, Larry Ogunjobi, C.J. Osmua, Ricardo Allen, Jesse Bates, Eli Apple, Quentin Spain, B.J. Hill, Trey Flowers. The Rams free agents: Odell, Von Miller, Darius Williams, Sonny Michel, Austin Corbett, Dante Jackson, Joseph Newbomb, Nat Gay, Troy Reader, Will Compton, and Dante Deaton. And then a trend that continues. The team that loses the opening coin toss now has won the past 8 Super Bowls, which is wild. So this dates back to the Broncos, who won the opening coin toss and lost the Super Bowl back in the 2013 season, the first Peyton Manning Super Bowl at Denver. And the other subplot that comes out of this is that Los Angeles has had a lot of championships over the last 10 years. You had the Rams now. You had the Lakers in the Disney bubble. You had the Dodgers in the Texas bubble. You had the Kings in 2014 and 2012. So that's 5 titles in 10 years, essentially, for the city of Los Angeles. In all 4 sports, too, which is pretty impressive. I know Boston had a similar feat about last decade, a little more than last decade, like 15 years ago, because they had a stretch where the Red Sox won a couple, the Patriots, obviously, and then the Celtics and the Bruins each won a title. Yeah, because the Celtics were 08, the Bruins were 2011, the Patriots won in 05, or 04, 05, and then the Red Sox won in 04 and 07 and 2013, and the Bruins almost won again in 2013. The Patriots almost and arguably should have won again in the 2007 and 2011 season. So Boston had some close calls, too, with two close calls to the Patriots and the close call with the Bruins. And LA has 5 titles over the last decade, and 2 of them with the Kings, and like I said, 1 now with the Rams, 1 with the Dodgers, 1 with the Lakers. So that's another subplot that came out of this game. Best commercials. There are some good ones for sure. To me, the ones that stood out were a Chevy commercial. It was a Sopranos commercial, which was pretty cool. There was an Amazon ad that I thought was neat with Scarlett Johansson and Colin Jost. There was a Toyota commercial featuring Brian and Robin McKeever. The Budweiser commercial's always in the Super Bowl every year. And that one was pretty good too. Kanye West for McDonald's. Jim Carrey's the cable guy for Verizon. Lizzo for Google. Steve Buscemi and Serena Williams for Michelob Ultra was fun. Doja Cat for Taco Bell. DJ Khaled for QuickBooks. Larry David for FTX. Mary J. Blige for Hologic. So there were some good ones. And my favorite commercial, I gotta say, was Kia's ad with Bonnie Tyler's classic hit, Total Eclipse of the Heart. That was my favorite Super Bowl ad. Alright, and then the halftime show was fun. We saw a bunch of rap in the show, which was pretty cool. We saw Eminem last. Opening the show was Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Mary J. Blige came out in the middle of the show, as did Kendrick Lamar. But the second act of the halftime show was a surprise. 50 Cent performing his classic hit In the Club, reminiscing his music video in Ways 2, which was so cool. And then Eminem performing his classic hit, Lose Yourself, was fun. And then Mary J. Blige performed her classic hit, Family Affair. That was pretty cool as well. And the funny thing is that, remember, Mary J. Blige, we thought could have potentially been the skunk on The Masked Singer. So that's like a random little subplot from the halftime show. So, fun game, fun commercials, fun halftime. And the national anthem was good as well, obviously. We cannot forget that as well. All right, we're going to move on now to college basketball. We'll recap the games from the weekend very, very quickly. And we'll look ahead to tonight's window, which is not bad for a Monday. I will begin with Friday. Number 25, Xavier over number 24, UConn, 74-68. Milwaukee over Rice State, 60-57. Oakland over Robert Morris, 71-68. Youngstown State over Detroit Mercy, 82-69. Rider over St. Peter's, 59-49. Monmouth over Manhattan, 75-65. Kent State over Akron, 66-64. Northern Kentucky over Green Bay, 71-62. New Mexico over Northern New Mexico, 78-46. Nevada over Utah State, 85-72. St. Bonaventure over St. Louis, 68-61. Siena over Iona, 70-64. Colorado State over Fresno State, 65-50. Boise State over UNLV, 69-63. Saturday. Number 1, Auburn over Texas A&M, 75-58. Number 10, Baylor over number 20, Texas, 80-63. Lafayette over Lehigh, 73-69. Creighton over Georgetown, 80-66. UMass over St. Joe's, 69-67. Alabama over Arkansas, 68-67. Number 8, Kansas over Oklahoma, 71-69. Number 15, Villanova over Seton Hall, 73-67. BU over American, 85-67. Merrimack over Wagner, 80-65 in overtime. Fairleigh Dickinson over Sacred Heart, 82-75. St. Fran Brooklyn over Central Connecticut, 67-50. Indiana State over Illinois State, 60-57. Fairfield over Niagara, 73-53. Navy over Army, 52-49. Rutgers upsets number 14, Wisconsin, 73-65. Holy Cross over Bucknell, 78-72. NC Central over Morgan State, 74-64. Tulane over Temple, 92-83 in overtime. Montana State over Northern Arizona, 72-70. LIU over Bryant, 99-88. Gardner-Webb over Charleston Southern, 82-65. North Carolina over Florida State, 94-74. Yale over Columbia, 84-59. Penn over Harvard, 82-72. Brown over Cornell, 81-80. New Hampshire over Binghamton, 69-60. Oklahoma State over West Virginia, 81-58. Coastal Carolina over Georgia Southern, 79-58. Dayton over George Washington, 80-54. Rhode Island over Davidson, 72-65. Chattanooga over Furman, 64-58. Drexel over Northeastern, 67-51. Towson over Milan, 86-60 or 86-50. Buffalo over Ball State, 80-74. South Carolina over Georgia, 80-68. North Texas over Rice, 67-44. Sam Houston over Chicago State, 72-59. Miami over Wake, 72-60 or 76-72. Pitt over NC State, 71-69. Cleveland State over IUPUI, 83-45. Texas State over Yale Monroe, 63-54. Texas Arlington over Louisiana, 80-77 in overtime. Western Illinois over North Dakota, 70-68. Memphis upsets number 6 Houston, 69-59. Number 17 Michigan State over Indiana, 76-61. Citadel over VMI, 83-79. Miami of Ohio over Bowling Green, 94-78. Ohio over Eastern Michigan, 74-56. Number 5 Kentucky over Florida, 78-57. Number 9 Texas Tech over TCU, 82-69. Number 23 Murray State over Morehead State, 57-53. Cal over Oregon, 78-64. SC State over Coppin State, 66-58. UC San Diego over UC Riverside, 85-62. Bethune-Cookman over Alcorn State, 71-63 in overtime. Howard over Delaware State, 85-72. Western Kentucky over UTSA, 71-65. Southern Utah over Sacramento State, 83-57. Utah Valley over New Mexico State, 72-68. Seattle over Lamar, 76-50. Mount St. Mary over St. Fran, PA, 54-52. UNC Asheville over SC Upstate, 83-56. NCAT over Longwood, 70-62. Virginia over Georgia Tech, 63-53. Princeton over Dartmouth, 85-40. Florida Gulf Coast over Stetson, 89-82 in overtime. Kansas State over Iowa State, 75-69 in overtime. Georgia State over App State, 58-49. Missouri State over Valpo, 84-66. BC over George Mason, 85-70. South Dakota over Denver, 84-76. Stanford over East Tennessee State, 77-73. James Madison over William & Mary, 69-55. Butler upsets number 18 Marquette, 85-79. SIU Edwardsville over Tennessee Tech, 61-60. Eastern Illinois over Tennessee Martin, 82-70. Texas Southern over Grambling, 68-65. McKees over Northwestern State, 80-75. Nichols over A&M Corpus Christi, 83-80 in overtime. Winthrop over Presbyterian, 65-61. Bellarmine over North Alabama, 75-69. Number 7 Duke over Boston College, 72-61. Alabama A&M over Mississippi Valley State, 94-92 in overtime. Quadruple overtime, I may add. Colgate over Loyola Maryland, 64-56. Belmont over SC Missouri State, 81-72. Austin Peay over Tennessee State, 54-52. Idaho over Weber State, 83-79. Eastern Washington over Idaho State, 75-72. Southeast Louisiana over Houston Baptist, 89-84. New Orleans over Incarnate Word, 84-57. UMass Lowell over UMBC, 88-71. Lipscomb over Eastern Kentucky, 83-73. Central Arkansas over Jacksonville State, 72-62. Little Rock over Troy, 66-62. Toledo over Northern Illinois, 100-72. South Dakota State over Omaha, 82-61. Arkansas Pine Bluff over Alabama State, 75-70. Radford over Hampton, 60-54. North Florida over Kennesaw State, 74-72. Fordham over Duquesne, 65-54. Number 4, Arizona over Washington, 92-68. Number 16, Ohio State over Michigan, 68-57. Number 19, Tennessee over Vandy, 73-64. SMU over East Carolina, 80-66. Norfolk State over Maryland Eastern, 70-63. San Francisco over Santa Clara, 74-58. Campbell over High Point, 60-42. Virginia Tech over Syracuse, 71-59. Jacksonville over Liberty, 73-69. Richmond over LaSalle, 77-63. Number 11, Providence over DePaul, 76-73 in overtime. Prairie View over Southern, 84-77. Jackson State over Florida A&M, 60-56. Hofstra over Delaware, 80-66. Notre Dame over Clemson, 76-61. Vermont over Albany, 76-63. Hartford over NJIT, 65-49. Purdue Fort Wayne over UIC, 73-66. South Alabama over Arkansas State, 70-51. Wofford over Western Carolina, 63-57. UNC Wilmington over Charleston, 85-79. Marist over Canisius, 71-70. Western Michigan over Central Michigan, 77-63. Wichita State over South Florida, 73-69. Tulsa over Cincinnati, 83-77. Colorado over Utah, 81-76. Abilene Christian over Tarleton, 77-63. San Diego over Pacific, 60-54. Southern Illinois over Evansville, 69-62. Bradley over Drake, 68-59. Oral Roberts over UMKC, 91-86. North Dakota State over St. Thomas, Minnesota, 75-64. LSU over Mississippi State, 69-65. San Diego State over Air Force, 76-64. Missouri over Ole Miss, 74-68. Minnesota over Penn State, 76-70. Montana over Portland State, 85-76. Dixie State over Grand Canyon, 61-60. Wyoming over San Jose State, 74-52. Number 2, Gonzaga over number 22, St. Mary's, 74-58. Number 21, USC over number 12, UCLA, 67-64. Arizona State over Washington State, 58-55. Cal State Northridge over Cal State Bakersfield, 71-65. UC Santa Barbara over Cal Poly, 69-64. Cal Baptist over Texas Rio Grande, 80-72. BYU over Pepperdine, 91-85. Portland over Loyola Marymount, 86-76. Stanford over Oregon State, 76-65. Hawaii over Cal State Fullerton, 72-55. Now Sunday's games. Number 24, UConn over St. John's, 63-60. Robert Morris over Youngstown State, 73-68. Northern Kentucky over Wright State, 75-71. Number 3, Purdue over Maryland, 62-61. Stony Brook over Maine, 85-74. Oakland over Detroit, 75-59. Iona over Monmouth, 70-62. Siena over Reiner, 76-75 in overtime. Number 13, Illinois over Northwestern, 73-66. UAB over Old Dominion, 81-72. Milwaukee over Green Bay, 54-44. Manhattan over Quinnipiac, 83-66. Iowa over Nebraska, 98-75. Marshall over UTEP, 88-79. Middle Tennessee over Charlotte, 78-63. Mercer over UNC Greensboro, 73-64. Colorado State over Boise State, 77-74 in overtime. And Loyola Chicago over Northern Iowa, 85-58. Now we look ahead to tonight's window. Or today's window. 2 o'clock, you have William & Mary and UNC Wilmington. My projection is Wilmington by 18.25. I did not do totals today because I did not have time. I'm sorry. I will probably do them for tomorrow's show. And it is 13 and 140.5. I'm laying the 13. 4 o'clock, UMBC, New Hampshire. My projections, New Hampshire 4.5, and it's 2.5, 136.5, laying the points. St. Louis and St. Bonaventure, 5 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. My projection is Bonaventure 4.5, and it's 2.5 and 138, laying the points. 6 o'clock, Lafayette, Colgate. My projection, Colgate 14, and it's 13.5 and 138.5. I'll go with the over. Eastern Illinois and Austin P. My projection's Austin P by 12.25, and it's 11.5 and 122.5. I'll take the over. American and Holy Cross at 7 o'clock. My projection's Holy Cross by 1. And it's 2.5 and 133.5. I'm going to go with the under in this game. I think this is a pretty ballsy pick by yours truly. Vermont Hartford, my projection's Vermont 16. And it's 11.5, 138.5, playing the points. Duquesne Davidson, my projection is Davidson 23.5. And it's 13, 137, playing the points, bounce back spot. Tulsa UCF, my projection is UCF 10 3/4. and 7.5 and 140, laying the points. James Madison in Delaware. My projection's Delaware 8.25 and 6 and 148, laying the points. Drexel in Charleston. My projection is Drexel by 1. And it's Charleston by 4, total 148.5. I'm taking Drexel plus the 4 and plus 146 to win outright. Bucknell Lehigh, CBS Sports Network. My projection's Lehigh by 2. And it's 5 and 146. I'm taking Bucknell on the 5. NC Central Coppin State on ESPNU. My projection is NC Central by 10. And it is Coppin State by 2, total 142.5. I'm taking NC Central plus the 2 and plus 112 to win outright. Howard and Maryland Eastern. My projection is Howard 8.5. And it's 4.5 and 137.5. I'm laying the points. ESPN, Virginia Tech. My projection is Virginia by 1. And it's Virginia Tech 4.5, total 120.5. I'm taking Virginia plus the 4.5 and plus 160 outright. West Virginia, Kansas State, ESPN 2. My projection is West Virginia by 5.5, and it's Kansas State by 3, total 134.5. I'm taking the Mountaineers plus the 3 and plus 130 to win outright on the road. Cleveland State, Purdue, Fort Wayne. My projection is Cleveland State by 12, and we got 1.5 and 141.5. I'm laying the 1.5. Why are they so undervalued every week? Niagara Marist. My projection is Marist by 12. And it's 4.5 and 128.5. I'm laying the points. Canisius Fairfield. My projection is Fairfield by 17. And 6.5 and 134.5. I'm laying the points. SC State and Morgan State. My projection is Morgan State 11.5, and it's 2.5 and 146.5. I'm laying the points with Morgan State. Norfolk State and Delaware State. My projection is Norfolk by 26, and it's 14.5, 133.5. I'm laying the points. That was at 7:30, so it was the last MEAC game I did. 8 o'clock, Western Kentucky and Southern Miss. My projection is Western Kentucky by 14.5, and it's 11.5, 139.5. I'm laying the points. Arkansas Pine Bluff and Alabama A&M. My projection is Bama A&M by 8.5, and it's 5.5, 127.5. I'm laying the points. Southern Utah and Northern Colorado. My projection is Southern by 3.5, and it's Northern 1.5, total 154.5. I'm taking Southern plus 1.5 and minus 104 to win outright. IUPUI and UIC. My projection is UIC by 16, and it's 17.5 and 126.5. And I'm going to go with the over in that game. Southern and Texas Southern. My projection is Texas Southern by 7.5, and it's 2.5 and 3.5. Now we're in the 8:30 game, so I'm going to lay it with Texas Southern. Bethune-Cookman, Jackson State. My projection is Jackson 17.5, and it's a 5.5, 121.5. I'm laying the points. Grambling and Prairie View A&M. My projection is Prairie View by 6, and it's 4.5 and 143.5. I'll take the under. Florida A&M and Alcorn State. My projection is Florida A&M by 0.5, and it's Alcorn 5.5, total 129.5. I'm taking Florida A&M plus 5.5 and plus 98 to win the game outright. 9 o'clock on ESPN. Oklahoma State number 8, Kansas. My projection is Kansas 17. And it's 10.5 and 143. I'm laying the points with Kansas. Wazoo, Oregon on ESPNU. My projection is Oregon by 12, and it's 5 and 135. I'm going to lay the 5 at Oregon. CBS Sports Network, Dayton, Rhode Island. My projection is Dayton by 3, and it is Dayton 2.5, total 125.5. I'll go with the over. Fox Sports 1, Georgetown, Creighton. My projection is Creighton 13.5, and it is 10-142. I'm going to lay the 10 with Creighton. And last but not least, Mississippi Valley State and Alabama State. My projection is Bama State by 15. It's 10 and 145. I'm going to lay the 10 with Bama State. All right, now I'll move on to the NBA from the weekend. We'll recap all the games and look ahead to a busy window in the association for tonight. So Friday, Hornets over the Pistons 141-119, Cavs over the Pacers 112-113, Sixers over the Thunder 187, Spurs over the Hawks 136-121, Celtics over the Nuggets 108-102, Bulls over the Timberwolves 134-122, Jazz over the Magic 114-99. Saturday, Trailblazers over the Knicks 112-103, Grizz over the Hornets 125-118, Kings over the Wizards 123-110, Spurs over the Pelicans 124-114, 76ers over the Cavs 103-93, Nuggets over the Raptors 110-109, Heat over the Nets 115-111, Bulls over the Thunder 106-101, Clips over the Mavs 99-97, Warriors over the Lakers 117-115, and the Suns over the Magic 132-105. And then yesterday, Celtics over the Hawks 105-95, and the Timberwolves over the Pacers 129-120. Now we look ahead to tonight's games. 7 o'clock, you have the Pistons and the Wizards. My projections, Wizards 8 3/4, total 216.2. And we got here 4 and 218.5, laying the 4 with the Wiz. 7:30, Kings Nets from Barclays. My projection, Sacramento 4 1/4, total 223.55, and it is 3.5 228 under. Thunder Knicks from the Garden. My projections, Knicks by a whopping 14 1/4, total 209.5, and it's 8.5 206. I'm going to lay the points in New York. Bounce back spot after losing that awful game to the Dameless Blazers. 8 o'clock, Spurs Bulls. My projection is Spurs by 3/4 on the road, total 213, and it is 5-234. The under's the better pick here. I have the Spurs projected as a favorite. That's because the Bulls are missing a ton of people. Blazers Bucks. My projection is Bucks 19, total 220.9, and it is 16 and 231.5 under. Raptors Pelicans. My projection is Toronto by a quarter, total 215.6, and it is 4.5 and 223 under. 9 o'clock, Magic Nuggets. My projection is Denver 16 1/4, total 215.9, and it is 11 and 226 under. All these inflated totals. Rockets Jazz. My projection is Utah 20 and 3/4, total 223-1, and it is 14.5 and 231.5, another under. And the Warriors and the Clippers, 10:30 NBA TV. My projection is the Warriors by 6 3/4, total 213.9, and it's 6 and 221. Another under. All right, now we'll do NHL. We'll recap the games from the weekend, and we will look ahead to tonight's window of games. Friday, Stars over the Jets 4-3 in OT. Isles lose at the Oilers 3-1. Lightning over the Coyotes 4-3. Kraken over the Ducks 4-3. Saturday, Red Wings over the Flyers 4-2. Bruins over the Sens 2-0. Blue Jackets over the Canadiens 2-1. Canucks over the Maple Leafs 3-2. Jets over the Preds 5-2. Wild over the Hurricanes 3-2. Blues over the Blackhawks 5-1. The Flames over the Isles 5-2. Sunday, Sabres over the Habs 5-3. Sens over the Caps 4-1. Pens over the Devils 4-2. And the Avs over the Stars 4-0. And then tonight, 4 games, 8 o'clock, Red Wings Wild from Minnesota, St. Paul. The Wild are minus 255, Detroit plus 205, over under 6, overs minus 132, unders plus 208. Detroit plus 1.5 is minus 130, Wild minus 1.5 is plus 106. I'm going under 6. I think that this is a low-scoring game. I think that the under's a good play here. It could be 3-2 or 3-1, 4-1. 9 o'clock, Blackhawks Jets. Jets minus 166, Chicago plus 138, over under 5.5, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 188, Jets minus 1.5 is plus 152. I like the over here. I think it's a lot of scoring. I know it's a big nut or juice number, but I like it. Maple Leafs Kraken. Leafs minus 1 or 245. Kraken plus 98. Over under 6. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Leafs minus 1/2 is plus 110. Kraken plus 1/2 is minus 134. The Leafs are playing very well right now, so I'm going to lay the puck line with the Maple Leafs. Minus 1/2 is plus 110. And last but not least, 10:30 Oilers Sharks from San Jose. Oilers minus 146. Sharks plus 122. Over under 6. Overs minus 140. Unders plus 114. Oilers minus 1/2 is plus 176. Sharks plus 1/2 is minus 220. The Oilers are playing better since the coaching change. I'm going to go with a little bit of a ballsy pick here with Edmonton in regulation at plus 105 to knock off San Jose. All right, now we'll recap the Olympic action from the weekend. It's a lot of it, and then we'll look ahead to everything that's going to be taking place tonight. So we'll begin with Saturday's Beijing action. So, Alpine Skiing, women's downhill first training done. Biathlon, the men's 10-kilometer sprint. The bronze going to Tarjei Bo of Norway. The silver going to Quentin Fillon-Maillet of France. And the gold going to Johannes Thinges Bo of Norway. The bobsleigh, the women's monobob, and the two-man official training done. Rounds 5 and 6. Cross-country skiing, the women's 4x5 kilometer relay. The bronze going to Sweden, the silver going to Germany, and the gold going to ROC. Curling, women's round robin session 4. Sweden over Canada 7-6. Korea over ROC 9-5. Japan over Denmark 8-7. Men's round robin session 5. China over Italy 12-9. Canada over Sweden 7-4. Or Sweden over Canada 7-4. Switzerland over Denmark 8-6. Norway over USA 7-6. Women's round robin session 5. Japan over ROC 10-5. Switzerland over Denmark 8-5. Great Britain over USA is 10-5. And China over Sweden 9-6. Figure skating, ice, rhythm dance finished. Ice hockey, men's prelim Group A, U.S. over Canada 4-2, big win for USA. And Germany over China 3-2. Men's prelim round Group B, Czech over ROC 6-5, and Denmark over Switzerland 5-3. Women's playoff quarterfinal, Switzerland over ROC 4-2, and Finland over Japan 7-1. The Nordic Combine, the Gunderson Large Hill 10-kilometer done. Skeleton, women's heat 4 final. Bronze going to Kimberly Boss of the Netherlands. The silver going to Jacqueline Naricot of Austria, and the gold going to Hannah Nice of Germany. Ski jumping, men's large hill individual final round. Bronze going to Karl Geiger of Germany. Silver going to Ryu Kobashi of Japan, and the gold going to Marius Lindvik of Norway. Snowboarding, mixed team snowboard cross big final. Bronze going to Canada, Italy getting the silver, and the gold going to USA. Speed skating, men's 500 meter. Bronze going to Wataru Moricich of Japan. The silver going to Minkyu Cha of Korea, and the gold going to Tingyu Gao of China. Yesterday's action from Beijing. Alpine skiing, men's giant slalom, run 2 gold medal event. The bronze going to Matthew Favre of France. Silver going to Zan Kronjek of Slovakia, and the gold going to Marco Odermatt of Switzerland. Biathlon, men's 12.5 kilometer pursuit. The bronze going to Edward Latapov of Russia. The silver going to Bo Tarigi of Norway, and the gold going to Quentin Fillon-Maillet of France. Women's 10-kilometer pursuit. Bronze going to Tiril Ekerhoff of Norway. Silver going to Elvira Oberg of Sweden. And the gold going to Marte Aslu Reisland of Norway. The bobsleigh, the women's monobob heat 1 and 2 done. Cross-country skiing, men's 4 times 10-kilometer relay. Bronze, France. Silver, Norway. Gold, ROC. Curling round robin, men's session 6. Sweden over Norway 6-4. Great Britain over China 7-6. Canada over US 10-5. ROC over Italy 10-7. Women's round robin session 6. Switzerland over Canada 8-4. China over Korea 6-5. Sweden over USA 10-4. And Great Britain over Denmark 7-2. Men's round robin session 7. Great Britain over Denmark 8-2. Italy over Switzerland 8-4. And US over China 8-6. Hockey men's prelim round A. Canada over China 5-0 and US over Germany 3-2. And men's prelim round C or Group C. Finland over Sweden 4-3 and Slovakia over Latvia 5-2. Nordic Combine. Gunderson Large Hill 10 km official training done. Short track speed skating. Women's 3,000 relay final A. Bronze going to China, silver going to Korea, gold going to Netherlands. The men's 500 meter final. Bronze going to Stephen Dubois of Canada, silver going to Konstantin Availev of Russia, and the gold going to Shoang Liu of Hungary. Ski jumping, men's large hill official training 3 done. Speed skating, the women's 500 meter, the bronze going to Angelina Golikova of Russia, silver going to Maiho Takagi of Japan, the gold going to Aaron Jackson of USA, which was a great win for Aaron Jackson. That was really cool to see. And then today's Olympic action. There's some live going on right now, by the way. Alpine Skiing, women's downhill training done. Bobsleigh, the women's monobob heat 4 gold medal event. Bronze going to Christine de Bruyn of Canada. Silver going to Elena Myers-Taylor of USA. And the gold going to Kaylee Humphreys of USA. The two-man heat 2 is in progress. Two-man heat 1 has been complete. All right, curling. Women's round robin session 7. U.S. over Korea 8-6. Canada over ROC 11-5. Japan over China 10-2. Men's session 8. Canada over Italy 7-3. Denmark over Norway 6-5. Sweden over ROC 7-5. Great Britain over Switzerland 6-5. Women's round robin session 8 going on right now. Sweden and Switzerland are 4-4. Great Britain is losing 6-3 to Canada. Korea over Japan 8-5 right now. Denmark over ROC 7-4. Figure skating, ice freeze dance, bronze going to Zachary Donahue and Madison Hubel of USA. The silver going to Nikita Katsapalov and Victoria Sinista of Russia. And the gold going to Guilherme Sierzon and Gabriela Papatkis of France. I thought that Donahue and Hubel were robbed of gold. They were phenomenal. Freestyle skiing, women's aerials final 2. The bronze going to Megan Nick of USA. The silver going to Hannah Huskova of Belarus. And the gold going to Mengtao Zhu of China. Ice hockey, women's playoff semifinals. Canada over Switzerland 10-3. And U.S. is currently up 1-0 on Finland. The Nordic Combine, Gunderson Large Hill 10 km official training 3 done. Ski jumping, men's team final round. Bronze going to Germany, silver going to Slovenia, and the gold going to Austria. And then snowboarding, the men's and women's big air qualifications runs 1, 2, and 3 are done. And then going on tomorrow in Beijing, which is tonight in our time, you have Alpine Skiing, the women's downhill gold medal event. The biathlon men's 4x7.5 relay gold medal event. That was rescheduled, believe it or not. The bobsleigh, the two-man heat 4 gold medal event. Curling, you have round robin sessions 9 for men's and women's, and men's session 10. Figure skating, women's single short program. Freestyle, you have the free ski slope final run 3 for women's. We have the men's qualification playoff in hockey. Nordic Combine, we had the individual Gunderson Large Hill 10 km cross country for the gold medal, which was rescheduled. Snowboarding, the big air final runs 3 for men's and women's. Speed skating, we have women's team pursuit finals A and B, and the men's team pursuit finals A and B. All right, now we're going to quickly go over golf results from the Phoenix Open. We're just going to do like the top couple and then notables. So your winner of the Phoenix Open in a playoff with a score of 16 under with 11, the playoff Scotty Scheffler, and then second Patrick Cantlay, 16 under with the 12 in the playoff. Tied for third at 15 under, Brooks Koepka, Xander Schauffele, and Satish Thiglia with 15 under. Now we're just going to go through notables. Tied for 6th with 14 under, Alex Loren and Brett Horschel. Tied for 8th with 13 under, Hideki Matsuyama and Justin Thomas. Tied for 10th with 12 under, Matt Fitzpatrick, John Rahm, Keith Mitchell, Patton Kazir. Tied for 14th with 11 under, Chris Kirk, Brian Harmon, Taylor Hogue, Max Homa, Bubba Watson, Louis Olson. Tied for 21st with 10 under, Scott Stallings. Tied for 23rd with 9 under, Sam Ryder, JT Boston, Sebastian Munoz. Tied for 26th with 8 under, Saiwu Kim, Adam Hadwin, Keegan Bradley, Cam Young, Brendan Todd, Taylor Gooch. Tied for 33rd with 7 under, Russell Knox, Rory Sabatini, Carlos Ortiz, Ryan Henley. 37th with 6 under, Lucas Glover. 38th with 5 under, tied, Troy Merritt, Corey Connors, Kyan Cooley, Adam Scott, Kevin Kisner. Tied for 43rd with 4 under, Stuart Singh, Zach Johnson, Abraham Answer, Kevin Kisner was in the last group. Tied for 49th with 3 under, Ryan Moore, Henry Higgs, Doug Gim. Tied for 53rd with 2 under, Luke List, Bryce Garnett, Keith Hickok. Tied for 58th with 1 under, Broxler, Matt Jones. Tied for 60th and even was Jordan Spieth. Tied for 62nd with 1 over was Joel Dahman. Sub Straka was 7 over, 66th place. Among those cut, Gary Woodland, Adam Long, Sam Burns, Seamus Power, Patrick Rogers, Mito Pereira, Tyler Duncan, Ricky Fowler, Sam Piercy, Adam Putnam, Wyndham Clark, Roger Sloan, Emiliano Grillo, Lucas Donald, Dylan McCarthy, Tony Finau, Daniel Berger, Dylan Fratelli, Matthew Neesmith, Michael Thompson, Victor Hovland, Charles Howell III, James Hahn, Harold Varner III, Kevin Strelman, Danny Lee, Henrik Norlander, Kyle Stanley, Aaron Weiss, Tyson McComber, and Chasen Hadley and Adam Schenk. That's a lot of big names cut from this tournament. Now I'm going to do an abbreviated edition of news and notes. There's a lot of rumors before the game and after the game. Rodney Harrison said it on the NBC pregame that Aaron Donald told him that was a strong possibility that if he got a ring that he would retire. We talked about that earlier. And it's going to be interesting to see what goes on. Ramsey Odell tore his ACL again. So that was unfortunate. We talked about the Van Jefferson situation and Matthew Stafford embracing his wife on the field. Adrian Peterson got arrested on felony domestic violence charge at LAX after altercation with his wife on a plane. So that's unfortunate. Carson Wentz's future in Indy bleak as the Colts are likely to trade or release him before March 19th when the $15 million base salary becomes fully guaranteed. Carson Palmer, the former Bengals quarterback, has some advice to Joe Burrow. Said that Joe Burrow should have questions about his future with the team, which is very head-scratching. And maybe because of Mike Brown's reputation from the past, maybe that's where Palmer is coming from. Gronk predicted a Brady return and says the guy can play at any age. And Tom Brady had a viral tweet going as he has a Super Bowl ordered on his calendar, and it's sunk in that he wasn't playing in it. That's unfortunate. The Cincinnati Mayor's Super Bowl bet, as the Cincinnati Mayor wanted LA to change name to Los Angeles if the Bengals won, which was actually funny. Stephen Ross may lose the Dolphins and could face severe discipline if the Brian Flores situation, the tanking allegations, prove to be true. There's a lot of people in line for new deals. The coaches, Sean McVay and Zach Taylor, and quarterback Matthew Stafford. And some other quarterback news. Las Vegas is moving forward with Derek Carr. That is awesome to see. You're hearing rumors about them taking a quarterback in the draft the last couple of years. I just think that the old front office didn't like Derek Carr, like John Gruden and Mike Maycock. Kyler Murray frustrated with the Cardinals as Murray's embarrassed by the playoff loss and thinks he has been framed as a scapegoat, which explains to why he unfollowed the Cardinals on social media. The Buccaneers are eyeing veteran quarterbacks as they're leaving the door open for Brady, but looking at the trades for Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. The Packers look to re-sign Aaron Rodgers as they want to pay him to make him the highest paid quarterback. Sean McVay confirms his return in 2022. He said he's committed to this team and coaching in response to rumors of him stepping away. DeAndre Hopkins on the Kyler Murray drama. He wants to show off some new outfits for this upcoming season. That's funny. The Saints want Michael Thomas back in 2022. So we'll see about that. Coaches view Matt Rule as a lame duck coach. So people think he's on the hot seat, as he should be. The 76ers, so now we're out of the football portion of news and notes. So basketball stuff. 76ers rumored to be eyeing Mike D'Antoni to replace Doc Rivers after the James Harden trade, which would be wild. A lot of teams going after Goran Dragic, Lakers, Warriors, Clippers, Bucks, Bulls, and Nets. There's some tension in the Jazz locker room as Utah is dealing with some tensions post-trade deadline and failure to improve in playoffs could force Donovan Mitchell out. LeBron and Anthony Davis wanted tradesmates. It says there's rumors of Pelinka, LeBron, and AD being aligned on decision not to make deals are totally false. Pacers rookie Chris Durant out the next 2 games and is questionable for the Rising Stars game. Norman Powell has a fractured foot. Oh my God. That's brutal for LA, especially after that trade. Pat Connaughton to have surgery on his right hand. John Collins out the next 2 games with the foot strain. And he's expected to see a knee specialist, Zach LaVine. Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray to return soon, as the Nuggets president believes the duo will be cleared to return in the not-too-distant future. That would be amazing for that team. Russell Westbrook says he's not used to sitting. Of course he's not used to sitting. The Knicks are signing Ryan Arciero-Condo for the remainder of the season. They just need some guard depth, man. MMA was on Saturday night as Izzy Stylebender defeated Whittaker in the rematch. So that was pretty neat. A couple more items to go through. The MLBPA unimpressed with the offer and have made very little progress towards a new CBA deal after latest meeting. And the league says that minor league players should not be paid. As the league says, minor leaguers should be considered trainees during spring training and shouldn't get paid. Ben Simmons will wear number 10 with the Brooklyn Nets. Courtney Vandersloot resigns with the Sky, so that's good news for the Sky on a 1-year deal, though. Victor Cruz says Eli Manning is the GOAT because he beat Brady twice. And the Giants have hired Tony Sparano Jr. as an assistant offensive line coach. So that's the son of former NFL head coach Tony Sparano. And Auburn football to keep head coach Brian Harsin, despite speculation after many players and coaches left the program. And in non-sports related news, Yvonne Reitman passes away at the age of 75. The producer of Ghostbusters and Animal House. Thoughts and prayers to Reitman's family and his colleagues. That's just unfortunate news for today. Ooh, before we move on, I think Adam Schefter just tweeted. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't. All right. Last but not least, my best bet of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. This was a tough one for me. I'm just going to lay a quarter of a unit on a total here. And I really like the under in the Bucks game a lot. I like all the unders tonight in the NBA, but the Bucks one stands out because Dame's not playing right now. And a lot of other guys Portland just dealt, so I'm going to go with the under. The under 231.5 for a quarter unit between the Blazers and the Bucks to try to get best bet back on the right track. All right, so that's it for the show for today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from tonight and looking ahead to everything for tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.